Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. You are listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, MMA on occasion. Let's get to it.
Anthony for three. That one goes down, and the game is tied.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Shaking and baking right here on the neophyte.
Trying to close the show. She was doing a great job of feeding. That is over.
Coming up, so shaky. Don't you regret not coming to the net? Don't you regret not coming to the net?
Game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
All right. Doing a little New York Yankees in this show. Welcome to the podcast, episode 628. Let's get excited, man. The season's about to get underway. We should be having a couple of guests join us in this episode later in the show. As I am currently recording this segment of the podcast, they have not joined us yet. The interview has not happened. But there should be, at least two guests, maybe three, in this episode of the podcast. By the time it's out, it will probably be in the title, who is joining us and rejoining the show. We're hoping to have a couple of returning guests join the show, as well as possibly a first-timer. So look forward to that later in this show, but we are doing some Yankees, some New York Yankees here in episode 628 of BD4. Welcome to the podcast. Gonna talk and do our annual season preview. We usually do these in February. It is currently Friday, February 16th as I record. This episode should be out by sometime next week. Let's say Tuesday the latest. We'll do that. Sometime around early next week, because we have to get these guests to actually join the show so we can put that into this episode. But yeah, we're doing our season preview where we go over the roster, go over how we thought the offseason went, do a little statistic projections and stuff. It'll be a fun show. Going to get some different opinion from these guests. So stick around for that part. So welcome to BD4 episode 628. And I'm glad to be talking Yankees again. I'll say that. It's currently the beginning of All-Star break for the NBA. So I figured with no New York Knicks to cover at the moment, this is a good time to sneak a couple Yankees episodes in. I don't know why I said a couple, but at least one. So let's dive in, man. You know, as I said, as I'm recording, it's February 16th, so the offseason for the Yankees is pretty much done, right? I think everybody expects this to be it. This will be the final roster going into the season. So, you know, the direction of this team is odd. Like it's this weird 1 year window. I mean, the Yankees are always going to be World Series or bust, but like this is like if it's not going to be now, it's going to be like never type of year, because you've got 7 guys on expiring contracts. You brought in rentals during the offseason. So it's a weird type of year. Like they're going to have to capitalize, and this is the team they're riding with to capitalize on Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole's primes. So the offseason seems to be concluded. Hal Steinbrenner seems to be done spending. Brian Cashman seems to be done acquiring players, and this is the team that Aaron Boone will be riding with come April. If I were to grade the Yankees offseason, it was a good offseason. Let's start there. That's the base. You can't tell me you added a Hall of Fame talent and it wasn't a good offseason. It was a good offseason for the Yankees. Was it enough? I don't know. That remains to be seen. The Yankees added lefties. The Yankees added outfielders. They added some starting pitching. And they added relief pitching. Some. Do they need to add more? Should they have added more? I personally think they should have definitely added more to the rotation. But this is the team, again, for the millionth time, that we're going to be riding with. So if I were to grade Cashman's job, I'm between, I might have already graded the offseason last time we did the Yankees. I don't remember. But I'm between B- and B. I'm in a good mood. And because I'm in a good mood, I'll go with a B. It's and we'll talk about the specifics of why I gave it a B as we get into this episode. It's the rotation. But yeah, like it's, guys that I'm going to be, let's just put it this way. One guy in particular that I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to this spring. And I know spring training stats don't mean shit, but I want to see how Carlos Rodon looks. I want to see this velocity uptick that we're hearing about. I want to see if he's added a new pitch. I want to see, everybody says he's in much better physical shape. So I'm looking at him. Can he get through spring training healthy this time? I'm looking at the veterans this spring. Which of the three will be productive and look healthy between Stanton, Rizzo, and LeMahieu? There will probably be some prospect position battles. I don't know. Like Ben Rortvedt seems like he's destined to be the odd man out. I don't see him beating out Austin Wells for a spot. I feel like the Yankees are expecting Wells to be on the roster. Maybe Oswaldo Cabrera is... I'm assuming he's going to be coming off the bench on the Major League roster. I'm hoping he did some work in the offseason. I'm hoping he's worked with their new hitting coach, Rosen. He talked about early in the offseason, maybe it was towards the end of last season, how he was considering abandoning the right side of the plate and just going full on lefty. So I'm curious to see why he decided to not follow through with that. And I think the big thing with Oswaldo last season was a lot of ground balls versus when he first came up in 2022, was hitting some home runs, had the big playoff home run against, was it Cleveland? So I'm hoping he's working on elevating the ball again. As well as being a productive switch hitter. Oswald Peraza, kind of difficult to question his fit. Is he insurance for DJ? Is he insurance for Volpe? God forbid. Is he a trade chip? Same with Everson Pereira. Like, what's his fit? Is he insurance in the outfield? We already have 4 outfielders. 5 when Jason returns, if he's probably a trade chip. With Rizzo's concussion concerns from last year. Ben Rice is a name you're hearing Yankees fans talk about a lot. As Rizzo insurance, maybe. This is a lefty first baseman that maybe Yankees fans want to watch out for in spring training. And, of course, prospect pitchers. Now that we've gutted our pitching depth, look out for guys like Will Warren, Clayton Beater, even Luis Hill, who's recovering. Look for their spring training. See what they do. Maybe they make a spot. Eventually, maybe you have a number 6 who can fill in. Maybe you got a bullpen arm right there. I don't know if Chase Hampton was invited to spring training. I know Spencer Jones was. So I think at earliest you could probably, even if he rakes, he's probably not coming up until September. But yeah, man, I want to get into it. I want to kind of go around the diamond, make some predictions, do our projections that we do every year. Name some breakout candidates, some X factors, and just go around the roster. So I guess we'll start with that. We'll do that as soon as we return from our first break here on episode 628 of BD4. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on the show.
Hey there. Thanks for listening in so far. If you enjoy this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Let's start at catcher. We'll go around the diamond from catcher. Austin Wells, I am hoping, this is just straight up hope. I'm hoping that we see Austin Wells, if not right away, eventually get the majority of the reps at catcher. Now, the Yankees are always going to platoon. And it's good that they now have a lefty-righty platoon. But I just get a bad feeling they're going to stick with Trevino because of, just familiarity and defensive reasons. He works well with the staff and they love him. I don't know, because Trevino can't hit a lick. It's how long of a leash can you really have on that? It's been a season and a half of Trevino really not hitting. I would rather have the young lefty bat. It kind of gives you the same feeling, to a lesser degree, of when Gary was a prospect. I'm excited for Austin Wells. I'm curious about the defense. I didn't think he was bad at all last year. Does it hold up this year across a full season? If he is to get those reps, if it's bad, does he move to first base? If Rizzo flops, you have someone who could play first there. They have a lot of options at first base. Do they need to go that route? But I'm expecting a good year from Austin Wells. I think he's going to really surprise some Yankees fans. And put this into perspective when I read these numbers here. He's a catcher. So, catchers don't hit. But I have Austin Wells having a solid rookie season for the Yankees this upcoming year. And I've got him batting .247, 780 OPS, 22 home runs, 70 RBIs. That's what I've got for Austin Wells. That's a damn good rookie season from a catcher. Trevino, I have 216, 698 OPS, 9 homers, 39 RBIs. So again, I'm hoping that it's going to be 60-40 in the favor of Austin Wells. Local kid. Go to first base. We mentioned Anthony Rizzo. Again, the concussion last year completely zapped his power. He had a tough time seeing. Remember, he made those comments. he just went through an entire month where I think he didn't hit a home run at all. So I'm hoping that's what it was, and I'm hoping that he can at least rebound adequately. But he is getting up there in age. He's never exactly hit consistently with the Yankees. He's been a consistent power threat. He was the year prior to last year. So I'm trying to remain conservative, and I've got Anthony Rizzo batting .240 with a .759 OPS with 23 homers and 72 RBIs. I would like a little more, but that's what I expect. Second base, Gleyber Torres. Obviously, Gleyber Torres is in a walk year. It seems like the Yankees are going to let him test the market. They are not interested in extending Gleyber Torres. Doesn't seem like they are. So maybe with that, he has a season where he produces slightly better than last year. Right? Gleyber's a good, reliable hitter. He's somebody I'm not concerned about in this lineup. If there's a concern with Gleyber, it's the defense, how it's just very erratic over there at second base. I think he grades out as average, but I think Gleyber will have a very similar, if not better, season offensively. He's going to bat .268. I have him with an .822 OPS, which is much better than last year. 26 home runs and 73 RBIs. I think part of the reason Gleyber took so much heat at times last year is because he was looked at as the best hitter on the team because everybody was unhealthy. And so that's just not who he is. But his numbers were productive. He was productive. Go to shortstop. This is a fun one. Anthony Volpe. I'm going to be an old man for a second. And I've brought this up plenty. But I think the philosophy with Anthony Volpe needs to change, and hopefully it has changed. I'm hoping that Anthony worked on some things in this past winter, and I'm hoping he worked on his two-strike approach. Situational at-bats and counts. I'm hoping he starts bringing that approach where he's going to use all fields, find the gaps, focus on putting the ball in play and hitting line drives. Getting on base. Just get on base. Doesn't matter how. So you don't have to try to swing as hard as you can, but get on base. If you have to hit the ball on the ground versus elevate the damn thing, with his size and his speed, the old man in me is going to come out. I'm fine with him hitting the ball on the ground because he can beat out a grounder for a single. You know who else did that? A guy who is constantly being compared to him? Derek Jeter. I don't think with Anthony Volpe you have to worry about launch angles and exit velocities. That stuff works for an Aaron Judge or a Giancarlo Stanton because they're fucking mammoths. They're both 6'6", 6'7". Volpe's 5'9", $180, soaking wet. So he doesn't need that approach. That's not the principle that he should be following. A kid of his size should not be striking out as much as he did as a rookie. So I think if he focuses on the correct things, he'll run into 20 homers at Yankee Stadium. So that's what I'm curious about. I want to see this analytics audit, all these new assistants and this new hitting coach you brought in. I want to see if he actually looks different now. Defensively, he won the Gold Glove last year. He had some issues, though, in the field for sure. He had some problems with his transfers. He didn't have the strongest arm for a shortstop, but he can hopefully develop into a good enough arm. But Anthony Volpe this season, I have him hitting .248 with a .749 OPS, 22 homers and 69 RBI. So I have him taking a big leap. It's a big leap. The numbers aren't crazy, but it's a big leap from where he was as a rookie. And it's a leap that I think most Yankees fans would be okay with. I think if you put your expectations a little lower, I've kind of lowered mine. I don't know that he's going to be this, I was kind of unrealistic with my initial expectations, and I was hoping he'd be like an a perennial all-star, fringe MVP candidate. I don't think he's that. I think he's a very good player. And I think this is a good expectation to have for Anthony Volpe year 2. Let's go third base. And it seems like DJ LeMahieu will be the starting third baseman on opening day in Houston. I don't know how I feel about that. But there's no real option that's going to make you totally confident. Right? Do you go with the young kid? There's a lot of question there. Or do you go with the old vet? There's also a lot of question there because DJ has been declining the last 3 seasons. His second half last year was much better, so maybe you have that to cling on to. Maybe Aaron Boone gets him off his feet more this year with DJ. I feel like at this point in his career, at this age, less is more. As in, the less reps he gets, the more he gets off his feet, the more production he'll give. So I would like to see Oswald Peraza spare him a couple days a week. I also don't trust DJ LeMahieu to lead off anymore. I think at very most, I'd like to see a lefty-righty platoon with Verdugo in that leadoff spot, which I think you might be seeing eventually. But I don't love DJ leading off. So I have DJ LeMahieu on the year batting .250 with a .701 OPS, 9 homers, and 50 RBIs. I don't have a ton of confidence in him. A guy I do have some confidence in is the guy we're going to right now. As we go to the outfield, left field, Alex Verdugo. I like this move a lot, man. I like the type of cocky personality you're getting here. I love that. Make people uncomfortable. I think the media overblows that kind of stuff anyway. I know he had his problems with Boston at the end there with Cora. Guys didn't like him, but I think if he hits, he'll be fine. And I think he's that spark plug type of guy. One thing I like, I know my cousin will love this. He's a double hitter. He's a guy who's going to hit line drives and pick up 30-plus doubles a year. He puts the bat on the ball, does not strike out a ton. And with that, I think Alex Verdugo is going to bat .261 with an .810 OPS, 16 home runs, and 65 RBIs. That's a solid season. Caveat here, I think he gets traded for a starting pitcher but once Dominguez returns. I think you have 7 rentals on the roster. You need to take advantage of that, and I think Verdugo is a good guy to flip. So I think he is one of the guys they do flip for some starting pitching mid-season, late season. Aaron Judge in center field. I mean, what's there to say about Aaron Judge? He's amazing. I just hope he stays healthy, right? Don't run into any concrete walls. And just stay healthy, please. And if you can stay healthy, I've got Judge batting .290 with a .999 OPS. Don't ask why. 48 home runs and 118 RBIs. Being a little conservative there. And here we go. New Yankee. Newly acquired Yankee. Juan Soto, who will be a New York Yankee for a season. Generational talent. I know that term is very overused, but it is very true with Juan Soto. I mean, this kid is only 25 years old. He's only been in the league 6 years, and he's already got 3 All-Star appearances, 4-time Silver Slugger. That's insane. And he's already a World Series champion. He was 24 years old last season, guys. He's got tremendous power. He's got impeccable plate discipline. Just such a wonderful eye. Garrett Cole complimented it the other day. He's going to be phenomenal. I love his confidence, the arrogance he carries, that type of swagger. He's got a swag too. He's got the Soto shuffle he does when he takes a ball just outside the zone. He'll flip the bat. Does his little bat flip after he hits a moonshot. I'm sure the old men are going to love that. I'm sure mine is. Yeah, he's going to ruffle some feathers. I'm hoping he ruffles Astros fans' feathers and the Boston Red Sox feathers, and that'd be good. But this is a phenom, and he's the lefty bat you've been waiting for in the middle of the order, right? And the best part of Juan Soto, he's very durable. Year to year, he's constantly playing 150-something games. Last year, he played all 162. So you're hoping that the Yankees only have him for a season. Boone's not afraid to play him. And he's not sitting him the second day of the season. My brother and I already have a bet that he will sit him the second day of the season. It's not a bet because we both agree on it, but yeah. But I've got Juan Soto's numbers right here, his projections, and I have him hitting 271, a 925 OPS, 36 home runs, and 110 RBIs. Those are great numbers. But again, those numbers don't mean jack if he doesn't do it when it matters in the final month of the season, the one they call October. Giancarlo Stanton, penciled in at DH. I don't know that he's going to be good. He's old, he's slow, he can't move, he's injury prone, right? Can he give you 135 games? Can he give you 30 home runs? If he does, wonderful. But I don't even know he can do that. I don't see a ton of optimism here with Giancarlo. It's hard for me to. It seems like it's just going to be a bad contract the rest of the way. 4 more years on it. Jesus. He can't move his lower body. The bat speed's regressed. I don't know. I don't have him rebounding. I don't really have him rebounding at all. I have 225. I have a 700 OPS. I've got 26 home runs and 59 RBIs. That's garbage. I do have an adequate season from this next guy, the Yankees' 4th outfielder, Trent Grisham. This is a guy known for defense. He's a speedy player, good, solid, Gold Glove outfielder. And he's got good splits versus, I think, righties. I think he's got good splits against right-hand pitching, which is good. So I've got Trent Grisham having, this would be a pretty good year for him. For a 4th outfielder, 221, a 690 OPS, 18 homers, and 62 RBIs. That's fine. You know, compared to what we got last year in the outfield, Jesus Christ. And then the last bat that we're going to project here is a guy who he's coming back from injury, so I'm going to be conservative with it, and I don't know how many games he will play, so I'm not going to do any counting stats on him. But Jason Dominguez, let's say he gets back sometime mid-season, maybe August. I got him batting 262 with an 801 OPS. That's good. That's a win for a guy coming off injury later in the year. But it seems like he's progressing well, and it seems like he'll be ready to play some extended spring training games later this spring. So that's a positive already. I just hope they don't rush him because they've got depth in the outfield now. Let's go to the mound. Let's go to the mound. Let's do that when we return from our second break, though. Real quick here on BD4 episode 628.
You can follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, we're at BD4Pod and at Rob J. Carbone. On X, we're at BD4Pod and at RJCBD4. And on Facebook, we're BD4.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. Garrett Cole is your ace, coming off the Cy Young year. I expect more of the same. 16-5, 2.76 ERA, 2.12 and 2/3 innings, 219 strikeouts. That's what I have him for. My X factor this season is Carlos Rodon. I think this is everybody's X factor. It's not an exciting pick, but it's a pick that's, listen, I say what's on my mind, and this is my X factor. I think the Yankees season goes where he goes. Not the rotation. The Yankees season will go where Carlos Rodon goes. And I think that Carlos Rodon needs to be elite, not just decent, but he needs to be elite for the Yankees to have a legitimate shot this October. Most importantly, I need Carlos producing in October. But I need a good season from him, like a number 2 starting pitcher caliber year. Because for a team that was expected to be in the running on Yamamoto and then some, and then to lose out on Yamamoto, and then to lose another guy in the Soto trade who was supposed to start for you, and then to get just Strom, like you need Rodon to do his damn thing. So there was a lot of noise last year with him. There was a lot of drama. He did not pitch well. He got into some fits with the fans, with some of the coaches. Blake, Boone, coming off all the injuries, the shoulder, the back. I want to see how he rebounds, if he rebounds. I would like to see him add a third pitch, as I said, because last year he was only fastball slider, and I just don't see how you can get by doing that. So if he comes into the year doing the same thing with the same plan of attack, I'm just like, what do we think? What were we doing all year, all winter? Apparently, he looks, as we said at the top of the show, he looks to be in great physical shape. He's throwing 97 as opposed to the 92 he was throwing last camp, and he shaved the stash for what it's worth. So if you like all that stuff, I'd never get into all that hype. Yankees fans do this with every player. They're in shape. They look good. Cool. So, like, do I see him turning it around? Well, I have him going 8-8 this year with a 4.92 ERA, pitching 130 innings and striking out 137 batters. So, no. I'm going to be very conservative here. Just so if he does rebound, I look dumb and I feel better. But I just have a bad feeling that with added pressure, I don't know how that's going to go. He already had enough pressure on him last year. Now you're telling him, hey, we need you to be a number 2. I don't know. And my X factor is going to be followed up with my breakout pick of the year. I don't have a breakout bat, but I have a breakout pitcher. And his name is Marcus Stroman. I think that Marcus Stroman will thrive here. I think that type of swagger, that edge, that cockiness, he's got a combo of like Verdugo and Soto, right? He's got Verdugo's cockiness and he's got Soto's swag. And I think that's going to play up here. I think that's going to make him thrive. I'm not worried about all the nonsense on social media, the Cashman shit, the Yankee fans shit. That thing is gone. Again, the media blows everything up. I don't care. Just pitch good. And I think he'll pitch well. I am most confident in Marcus Stroman than anybody else in this rotation after Garrett Cole. You look at his resume, and he is consistently decent every year. He can pitch like an ace in stretches, too. He's shown that over the course of his career. With Toronto, he's had some ace months. Last year, in the first half of the season, he had a sub-3. I think he's going to thrive. He's a ground ball pitcher going into Yankee Stadium. That's a plus. And so, Marcus Stroman, I've got him having himself a year. He's going to go 14-5 with a 3.38 ERA, throw 146 2/3 innings, strike out 125. So he's going to have a solid year. He'll be the number 2 behind Cole, which is why I'm a little concerned about this team. Because after Cole and after Stroman, it gets a little brutal still for me. Talked about Rodon, but Nestor Cortez, I'm a little bit concerned with him. The shoulder thing, he said it was giving him some problems in December, but he feels comfortable now. I get scared. When I hear shoulder, I get scared. Nestor Cortez, the innings workload, he's never been a guy who's thrown a ton of innings. Did it catch up to him? Has the league figured him out? You had the third time through the order fifth inning issues last year with him. But if he can just be like, unlike with Carlos Rodon, I don't need Nestor to be elite. I just need Nestor to be adequate. So if he can just be a 5-and-fly pitcher, that's fine for Nestor. You know? So if he does what I have, and I've got 10-7, 4.02 ERA, 138 in the third innings, 140 strikeouts, that's fine. I'm not expecting much more. Clark Schmidt, can he take the next step? I'm going to say it's more of the same, minus April. So maybe a little bit better. But I still think the Yankees need to add Snell, Cease. Because I don't love, and I never have loved Clark Schmidt as a starting pitcher. I feel he's best in a righty-on-righty bullpen role. The splits prove that. The innings workload proves that. His velo dipped as the season progressed last year. His strikeout numbers were very low. For a guy with great stuff, great movement on his pitches, you don't want to yield low strikeout numbers. So I've got Clark Schmidt 6-6 with a 4.39, 121 innings and 114 strikeouts. I think he will be moved to the bullpen sometime before the deadline. And I think then he's maybe included in a deal with Verdugo to get some starting pitching. So, like, you look at the rotation, I just listed Cole with a 2.7, Rodon with a 4.9, Stroman with a 3.3, Nestor with a 4.0, and then Schmidt with a 4.3. Kind of similar to last year. Slightly better. That's my big concern. Go to the bullpen. Clay Holmes in a walk year. I don't love Holmes as closer, but seems like that's going to be what he is. I have him producing a 3.01 ERA, 29 saves. He'll have his ups and downs. This new guy, Gonzalez, that we added in, left-handed pitcher, 3.33 ERA. I've got Ian Hamilton having a good year, 2.89. If Jonathan Loaizaga stays healthy, I have him at a 3.40. Ferguson, who we brought in from LA also, I have him at a 3.01. Nick Ramirez, a 4.57. Tommy Kahnle, I hope he holds up, man. He's getting older and older. He kind of struggled towards the end of the year last year. He relied a little too much on the changeup. But I think he'll be fine. I have him with a 3.50. Luke Weaver, who's probably their number 6 starter. The Yankees like him. I have him at a 4.01. He'll probably see some starts and pitch out of the bullpen a little bit. And then Ron Marinaccio. He struggled last year. He was up and down between the bigs and AAA ball. I got him at a 3.63. So somewhat of a bounce back because he's a Jersey Italian and I like him. So we'll see. So the bullpen, I think, will do the damn thing. One second here. I almost lost my spot. Okay, we're good. Yeah. I'm confident in the lineup. I think Soto and Judge will be incredible together. I think, as we said, they can protect each other 2 and 3 in the order, whichever way, wherever you want to put both of them. I think Soto could help Judge in the postseason with that protection, right? It's just going to be awesome to have 2 of the same type of high power, high discipline hitters in one lineup. 2 Aaron Judges, really. It's must-see TV. So, I know we sound like we first did when Stanton first came over, but I think Juan Soto's a much better baseball hitter. But I'm confident in this lineup in producing a top 7 offense. I think that's very doable. Because all you need to do to generate offense, at least in the regular season in the MLB, is you need a couple big boppers at the top and then serviceable production surrounding them. So you got Soto and Judge. That's your heart. And then you have a couple guys in Glaber and Verdugo who are reliable. They're at least going to be above average hitters for you. You know that. And so the rest of the guys just need to do enough. The veterans like LeMahieu, Rizzo, Stanton, can you get two of them to be average? And I think you'll be fine. The young kids like Wells and Volpe, be nice to get some production there. But I think so long as Judge and Soto are healthy and you get a couple other guys just chiming in, contributing, you'll be fine. I love the fact that we have a lefty-righty balance now. We've got 5 lefties, Soto, Verdugo, Rizzo, Wells, Grisham. We've got 2 switch in Dominguez and Oswaldo, if he makes the roster. You got enough new faces in here, right? You got Wells, Verdugo, Soto, Grisham, later on Dominguez. And those are guys coming in. The guys going out. Calhoun's not here anymore. Bowers isn't here anymore. Kiner's not here anymore. McKinney's gone. Franchi's gone. Donaldson's gone. Hicks is gone. Bader's gone. Higgy's gone. Those were all black holes. Every single one of them were not good hitters. Now you're bringing in guys who are serviceable hitters, guys with upside. Not to mention those guys were all playing out of position. Like you know what I'm like? We had infielders playing outfield. So the defense, I'm confident in the defense taking a step forward. We're not going to have that problem anymore where we got infielders playing outfield. We have some actual outfield depth with a Gold Glover as the 4th outfielder. Now there are still some questions with this defense. Torres at second base, he's going to have his ups and downs, but you live with it. Volpe at shortstop, we talked about that. He won the Gold Glove, but it was more process of elimination with Wander being a scumbag. To be kind. But I think the infield, it's fine. It's the outfield stuff. If you want to be concerned with like health, Aaron Judge in the center field coming off the injury at this age. It's a lot of ground to cover. I'm sure he's going to have his DH days. You're sticking Soto in right field. He's slow. He's got below average range. Right field is the smallest field in Yankee Stadium, so he's got the arm for it. And I'm sure he too is going to have some DH days. There are going to be some days where you probably play him in left when you're in smaller ballparks. And it's going to be interesting when Dominguez returns. Say Dominguez returns and say in a crazy world, everybody's healthy by then. Like I'm talking Stanton, Judge, Soto, Verdugo. Everybody's healthy. What are you doing? Like I said, I think you're flipping Verdugo. So you do that. How do you align the outfield? Is it Jason in left? Judge in center? Soto in right? Do you stick Jason back in center field and not worry about him, in his Tommy John surgery? You put Judge in left. The Yankees have been hesitant to do that. Stick Soto in right. Does Soto go to left? It's a pretty big left field. I don't know. Do they keep Verdugo? Do they do it slow with Jason and have him get some DH days? Again, this is if Stanton's not on the DL with a sore pinky by then. But I'm confident in the defense overall. The rotation, like I said, I'm not too confident on that just because they're going into another season where they're relying on health. They're banking on upside. Right? It's a low floor, high ceiling starting rotation. Don't love that. And I'm confident in the bullpen. I think Blake does wonders there. The Yankees are very good at finding and developing bullpen talent. They still have Like I said, Lasagna, Hamilton, Canely, Holmes. They added solid arms from the Dodgers and Ferguson and Gonzalez. So overall, folks, before we get to the second part of the show with our conversations with the guests who are coming on, let's make our final predictions here. I'll give you my win prediction for this team, where I think they'll land in the American League East, and what I think they are destined to do or not do in the playoffs. I have this team constructed as it is, winning. Again, I'm in a good mood. 90 games. I think they're a 90-72 team, which is good. What is that? Series 90 divided by 162. That's all right. 555. 90-win team. Probably going to put them in third place. I've got Baltimore coming in first. And then in second place, Yankees fans aren't going to like this, I've got Toronto. The Rays are always relevant, so they could easily take second. But I just feel like they have a lot of injuries. They've lost a lot of guys. And I have the Yankees in third. So I think ultimately they get back into the postseason as that third wild card team. And I have them. I just don't see them beating Baltimore. I think they get to the ALCS and then they run into Baltimore. So you got the 3 seed against the 1 seed. And I think the Yankees have a tough time with a young, good, only improving team in the Orioles. As much as I hate to admit that. Although they lost a pretty big arm in Kyle Bradish. Hope I said his name correctly. All in all, folks, go out there and prove me wrong. Go win a World Series. Go be the fucking New York Yankees, the evil empire. Go be arrogant, be cocky, piss people off. Do all that again, man. This is the year. It's got to be this year. You got 7 expiring players. This is the year we're going all in. It has to be this season. So go win a fucking World Series, folks. Please. With that said, I will leave you with the next part. I don't know what that was. With that said, I don't know. I will leave you. I'm trying to sound like a fucking philosopher here. With that said, that's all for this part of the show. We'll get into the next part of this episode now with, again, a couple of guests that we had come on and join us. So I hope you guys enjoy this. We're going to talk same stuff we kind of just talked about here, but different opinions and viewpoints. So hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get to that as soon as we finish up our trivia, which we're going to get to right now. Okay. True or false for this episode? The Yankees' career RBI leader is also their single-season RBI leader. Is that true or false? The Yankees' career RBI leader is also their single-season RBI leader. Let me know the answer wherever you can reach me. Folks, that's it. That's it for this segment of the show. We will get into our next part of the show with these conversations that we had with a couple other Yankees fans. So hope you guys enjoy it. Please stick around for it. This will be good. And thank you for tuning into this part. Let's get into the next.
If you're interested in our website, just go to www.bd4blog.com. You can subscribe to our blog on there right on the front page. Just like on the podcast, we cover Yankees, Knicks, and MMA. Also on our website are the links to the different platforms for the podcast. Thanks so much.
Studio 69 Productions is a podcast production agency created by Leo Rodriguez to allow content creators to market their podcast. It's an online platform that will market your podcast or any other project that you're working on. Get in touch with Leo Rodriguez from Studio 69 Productions. You can find Studio 69 Productions on Instagram at Studio69NJ. Studio 69 Productions, where dreams are heard and born.
Thanks for listening to BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA, Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's get to part 2 of the show. Hope this works. Okay.
You came up with some picks too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just in case.
All right. We can just
Yeah.
go through all of them and
Okay.
just pick the ones that we want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
All right.
I just want to start your thoughts like on the overall offseason, like I guess the direction of the team, because to me it's like it's a little weird. I don't know, like it's a 1-year window. We have a bunch of expiring players. But I don't feel like we capitalized on that 100%. So I want to
Yeah.
know your overall thoughts on the offseason, give it a grade. I mean, I know, but just for the people listening, um, just the usual shit for what your thoughts are in the offseason.
I think it was okay. Like, I think if they didn't get Soto, you would give it an F because they didn't do they literally that's all they did. And I think Brian said yesterday, like he's expecting it to be like a 1-year thing, and Soto's gonna
Yeah.
test for pregnancy. And obviously he's a Boris client, so he's gonna ask for I think he's a Boris client, so he's gonna ask for a ton of money. So
We talking
I
about
don't know.
Soto?
I think huh?
Talking about Soto?
Yeah, is he Boris?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if they have him for this year and they don't win anything and then he walks this offseason in F.
Yeah.
So
I think so they added some lefties. They added some outfielders, some actual fucking outfielders.
right.
They added
Doesn't even matter.
No, I mean they added some starting pitching, they added some relief pitching. So I think like it's a good offseason. It's like I give it a B,
Yeah, I was gonna say B.
B minus ish. But like, yeah, I mean you really can't judge it until it plays out. But like, yeah,
If
I
they
just
re-sign Soto, then
yeah,
I would say it's a really good offseason because then you have a window with him and Judge
yeah.
for several years. But if he walks, then you're kind of back at like square one.
If he walks and you don't win, it's a bad offseason. If he
Right.
walks after you win, I really couldn't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
but yeah, I mean I think the plan here is just to it's like it's the most World Series or bust year we'll have had in a while. Like it's literally we have 7 guys walking. So, and I'm hoping that they can capitalize on that and actually use some of these rentals to
Yeah.
find pitching and shit. But I have
They already
well, I
lost
guess I'll yeah.
pitching.
Well, I was gonna ask you first. Um, do you have like an X factor of the season? I mean, it's I think everybody has the pretty much the same guy, but do you have an X factor that you think will determine the way the season plays out?
If everyone's healthy, I don't even know if everyone needs to be healthy, but if like the core guys are healthy, like Soto and Judge are healthy, I think I was thinking about this. I think there's 2 guys that could be X factors. I think it could be LeMahieu Like if he just has a bounce back season in the leadoff spot, if he even leads off, like if he has a good year, it's like 280, it's like 20 homers. I don't know, maybe like 70 RBIs or whatever, 80 RBIs. Like I think that would go a long way. And then I think Stanton. I really think if he can stay healthy, like I think he's not gonna. It's tough because the two guys that are gonna be hitting in front of him, like the pitchers are gonna focus so much on Judge and Soto. I feel like he might get some good pitches to hit, but at the same time, like I think he's easy to pitch to. Like we've seen that before, like slider low and away. Like he just goes for it. But
Yeah.
I feel like in that, like I, I I don't even know where you'd put him in like the tiers of their lineup, but he's like he's not tier one anymore. Like he's not the guy. He's not close to the guy. Like I feel like if he has a like just a solid stand year, that could be very big for the team.
If Stanton can put up like 30 home runs,
Yeah, I was
give
thinking
me
like just like
240 at this
250.
point,
Yeah,
like fucking I'll live with that.
250, play like 130 games and hit like 30 home runs. Like that
Yes.
would be good.
He's not like he's old, dude. He can't move. He's slow. He's got no lower body anymore. I mean, he doesn't like his bat speed's kind of, I mean, he hits the ball hard. So like, I don't know, man. I have I'm not really expecting him to bounce back. It's
Yeah,
hard.
sure.
Kind of the same thing with LeMayu. It's been like 3 straight seasons now. I think he peaked earlier in his Yankees career. He's older. He's like, I know he had the second half that was better last year, but
He peaked in 2020.
yeah, like at this point,
2019 was insane, and so was his 2020.
yeah,
And then he's been like injured the last couple of years
and
and
he's
just
just
like
old
not
and
good.
injured. Yeah, like he's not. I think at this point, less DJ is more. Like I think the less you
Yeah,
play him, get him off his feet, he'll probably be more productive. I would like
yeah.
them to give Peraza a shot, but I have a feeling they're not going to give him a shot. Um, but I
Oh
kind
yeah.
of just want to go
You
around the diamond. Um, if you have anything else to add, if not, we'll start at catcher.
just talk about Wells.
Do you think it's gonna like? Do you think who do you think is getting the majority of the reps? I guess we'll start there.
I think it's going to be a pretty like close split. I
Yeah,
think I think I think Cole is going to have a preferred catcher of those two. I don't know who that is.
you know,
I think that's going to guarantee one of them at least a day. But regardless, I think it's going to be a pretty like close split. Um, I think they do like Trevino's catching ability and just
yes,
that he's a veteran, but at the same time, like he doesn't hit very well. Whereas I think Wells can provide more.
yeah. I understand that catcher is a position where offense is very bad, but like there does come a point where it's like you got to be able to hit a little bit,
Yeah.
and I don't know that I want Trevino behind the plate more than or at the plate more than 50% of the time. I would really honestly I would like for
Wells.
Wells to get like 60-40
Yeah.
eventually. I have a feeling they're probably going to start out favoring Trevino. Um but I really like Wells. He's obviously younger, but he's a lefty bat. Um and he actually held up pretty well defensively last year in September and he started to hit a little bit too. Um
I
I
think I'm
think was that
gonna say I think if he has a big spring training,
yeah,
I think he could kind of start out in that kind of a role where he
right.
plays more often than he doesn't. Because I think you already know what Trevino is.
Yeah.
He's just the pretty like he's a good defensive catcher, but he's a catcher, so he's not going to hit that much.
Right. I think, and the thing with Wells, he could play a little first base too. So if things don't go well with Rizzo, you have some insurance.
Yeah.
Rizzo, I really don't know what to expect from Anthony Rizzo. I know he was kind of hitting very well last year until the Tatis thing when he got the concussion.
Yeah.
Um, he went through he went through that month where he did not hit a home run once. I don't know if he can rebound. I really don't know what to expect. It's kind of like if he gives me 25
I
homers, I'm good and gets on base. But I don't know if
yeah.
I can expect that anymore because he only had 12 last year.
Yeah. I think he's not going to be as bad because he was playing with a brain injury.
Yeah,
Um,
good job.
he's not going to hit like 180 or whatever he was over that stretch. I think he'll just kind of be like what he has been for the team. Like maybe hit like 260, 25 homers,
I don't think he's
whatever.
ever hit 260 for the fucking Yankees, dude.
Let me see.
I'm
I'll
thinking
look.
he's hit
I
like
feel like he
220,
has.
230.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But it's like the
Um,
power that we need.
yeah, maybe I'm just inflating his stats in my brain.
Yeah,
I'm
look
looking
that
this
up.
up right now.
Anthony Rizzo.
Oh yeah, shit, you're right.
Never even came close to that
250,
shit.
224, 244.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So do that
His,
for me, but hit me home runs at least.
his career is 260.
Yeah, before he came to the Yankees, he was a 270 hitter.
Yeah.
But
Okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe he'll hit like 240.
that's a win. Second base, Glaber Torres. He's in a walk year. I think at this point with Glaber, he's kind of like, you know what you're getting. You know you're getting a reliable hitter, um, who has erratic defense. But like, you're probably gonna get 270, 25 homers. Um, he'll have good and bad. I'm good with it. I think
Yeah,
if the Yankees can find something for him, starting pitching, if their offense is clicking enough to where they can afford to lose a Glaber Torres, maybe him and Verdugo are packaged, I would do it. Because again, I think you have to take advantage of the 7 expiring guys that you have.
I agree. Torres is he's a good player, but he's not like the impact player that we thought he was gonna be.
Yeah.
Um, so like you said, I think if there's a starting pitcher out there like a Luis Castillo a couple years ago.
Oh,
Like you could trade
yeah.
if you could trade Verdugo and Torres for somebody like that, I would do it easily. But I don't know if that person's going to be out there.
I want fucking Dylan Cease.
Sure. I would. Cease is pretty young, isn't he?
He's
What
young
our age?
and he's under team control.
Yeah, I would do that. If Torres is just having like a Torres year, just like a standard, like you just mentioned, what like
Yeah.
270, 20 homers, whatever, I would do that. I'm looking up Dylan Cease.
Dylan
Uh,
Cease. I don't know if they would give him up for Torres because he's under team control. I think they would probably want somebody they can
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah.
But
Cease 2024 arbitration, 2025 arbitration, and then
yeah,
2026 he's a free agent. So you'd have him for half of this year and all of next year, and then he's a free agent.
right. Yeah.
And
So you
he's
have him for
28 years
2 seasons.
old right now. So that's like a prime starting pitching age.
He's kind of been up and down, but like I think he's gonna be pretty good. I think I trust him enough to. He's got good stuff.
I think you could slot in as
Yeah.
a three.
Yeah.
He's kind of in that like Stroman range. I think he can have.
Um, I want to go to shortstop. This is an interesting one because I've like with Anthony Volpe to me, it's not so much talent, but I've probably brought this up to you before. Maybe it's like the philosophy of the organization. Like they teach all of these guys launch angle, exit velo, and all that. And I feel like Anthony Volpe, a kid who's fucking 5'8" on a good day, shouldn't be taught the same principles as a fucking 6'8" mammoth. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like Anthony Volpe should be working on a two-strike approach, using all fields, and dare
trying
I
to
say, hit
hit.
the ball on the fucking ground because he has the speed to beat it out. I know
Yeah,
that's like the cardinal sin of analytics, but like, yeah, like Anthony Volpe shouldn't be focused on that on any exit velocity or launch angles because I think at Yankee Stadium he'll run into 20 home runs.
they have enough
Um,
homers too. Like
yeah,
in plays, if Rizzo plays, if Soto plays, if Judge plays, like you don't need home runs out of Volpe. Just
no,
get on base,
just get on base.
hit like 250, draw some walks, steal some bases, play
Right.
good defense. That's like all you need out of him.
That's it. I just need him to hit 250. Give me a 25-25 season.
Yeah,
Play good shortstop, and that's a win at that position. Um,
exactly.
I don't think I'm expect like everybody was expecting him, I think, to be like outstanding. I think he's just a solid player if you can figure it out.
If
Um,
he hit like 260 this year and hit like 13 home runs and stole like 30 bases and played good defense
yeah,
like that,
that's fine with
it'd
me.
basically just be like Didi Gregorius, just
Yeah,
all in average, hit some home runs, play good
yeah.
defense. Except he has the speed.
He's got speed. That's why I'm saying like he can hit the ball on the ground and it'd be okay because he could probably beat out a grounder to third base.
Right.
That's how Jeter got a ton of his singles.
Right. Grounders in
So
the hole.
yeah, if you hit ground balls, I know that's like again, that's like people hate the ground ball today, but like for a guy like Volpe who's got the legs, that's something he should focus on. Make contact in any way, and you'll run into some hits. Um, we talked about third base already. Left field, I'm assuming it's probably Alex Verdugo to start the season.
Yeah.
They made that trade. They gave the Red Sox three pitchers who were irrelevant. I like the move. I think he's kind of a cocky personality that the Yankees might need. They have enough guys who are like professional and he'd be a spark plug. He's the guy who hits a lot of doubles. Guy who's gonna hit around 260. He'll hit you. He'll get on base and hit for a little bit of power. So I
He's
think
just
it's a
good
good
MLB.
stopgap for when Dominguez returns.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's just a good MLB player. I think, yeah, like you said, perfect stopgap. Like he's not gonna suck. Like you
No,
kind of just know he's gonna put up like a solid performance until Dominguez comes back. He'll probably have some trade value. I don't know if he's gonna be good enough to the point where you're gonna want to keep him at the trade deadline. Um, but he'll definitely be able to hold his own um,
no,
until Dominguez comes back.
right.
I think a good pickup for sure.
Yeah,
So
I
you don't have to
think
play shitty guys like
that's what I'm
Jake
fucking
Bowers.
saying. Billy McKinney,
Jake Bowers.
Franchi Cordero,
Oh my God.
IKF playing fucking center field. Jesus Christ.
Who did he sign with? I think he signed with somebody.
Toronto.
Toronto, that's right. Maybe
He
he'll
wants.
pitch against the Yankees this year.
Yeah. No fucking pitch. Jesus Christ.
That fat slob Manoa gives up like 12 runs.
Yeah.
They'll put Falefa in the pitch.
Oh my God. How do you think Juan Soto is gonna do in his first maybe only season in pinstripes?
Oh man. He's been pretty consistent his whole career. He plays pretty much every day. He's gonna hit like 270,
Yeah.
280. This is gonna be 400. I think you could see his home runs go up just because of where he's playing. But I think his career high is 35. I think he could hit 40 this year, like no problem. Like I think he's just gonna hit pop-ups that go out. Um,
thing thing with him is he's more of a push hitter, which is weird. But I don't think it really matters with him because he's got insane power anyway. He's gonna hit the ball
yes.
450 feet.
Yeah, yeah. I think I think he's gonna have a good year. Like I wouldn't be surprised if him and Judge are both like in the MVP talks at the end of the year if they both play.
Yeah, him and Judge. If Judge is healthy, yeah. Um,
They're gonna hit a bunch of home runs.
yeah, and this is like I hope since we only have him for 1 year that they actually fucking play the kid and they don't worry about his health on
Yeah,
the long term shit.
he's what, like 25?
He's 25 and he's already got 4 Silver Sluggers in a championship.
Oh,
Like, this fucking kid's good.
Juan Soto. Let me see. I think he's younger than that. Oh yeah,
He
he
just
is.
turned 25.
Yeah, he just turned 25. Wow. Yeah, he should be playing every single day.
Yeah. Um, gotta talk on Stanton, Judge, Grisham. I think that he came in the Soto deal, so
I forgot
he'll
they had him.
he'll probably get some reps because somebody's gonna go down, and I think
I
he's
think
a fine, speedy Gold Glove fourth outfielder.
yeah, I think there might be some days where they're obviously going to have days where Stanton doesn't play
Right.
or against certain right-handed pitchers. They'll just throw Grisham in there because he hits lefty. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
going to play a decent amount. I think he's just again like another veteran that you can throw out there that's not shitty like Jake Bowers.
Yes.
Um,
You know,
it's
it got so bad last year. I talked myself into Jake Bowers. I don't know if you remember that.
yeah.
I was like on. I was like in on fucking Jake Bowers for a little bit. It got bad. I was like all in on bringing the kid back because he
It's
had
good.
a good couple weeks for a second there.
He did. I'm gonna see if he signed a contract, Jake
There's no
Bowers.
way he did.
There's no way. Maybe like a minor league deal. Wow. Signed 1 year with the Milwaukee Brewers.
But they gave him the minimum.
Yeah. 1.3 million.
Huh.
Wow.
Well,
Unbelievable.
um, what do you think the plan is with Dominguez?
Um, I think they're gonna I think they're gonna milk it a little bit, honestly. I think they're gonna try to play Verdugo as much as they can. I think he's probably gonna start every day for the most part until the trade deadline, even though I think Dominguez will be ready before that. I think they might try to sprinkle him in a little bit before that. Um, but I think after the deadline, if they do trade Verdugo, I think Dominguez needs to play every single day with Soto and Judge in the outfield.
Yeah,
Um, and I think I think Stanton will just be the DH automatically, but I don't think you can have Stanton taking away at bats from Dominguez in any circumstance. But I don't think that's going to happen because I think Dominguez is just going to play the outfield and Stanton's going to play
right.
DH regardless of
I
what the roster
agree.
looks like.
No, I agree because I like you said they can afford to take it slow now because they have the depth in the outfield. Um, I'm curious to see if everybody's healthy by the time he gets back and they do go with him. What's the who's playing where? Are you going Dominguez and left? Or are they going to switch him to left and keep Judge in center? Or you think they're going to go Judge in one of the corner spots?
Ooh,
Because Soto can't play anywhere but right because he's a terrible
yeah,
outfielder.
yeah. Judge has never played left field.
No, they've never
I
done
think
that with
he would
Judge.
stay in center. Would they put? Yeah, I don't think they would move Juan to left field. I think he'd probably put Dominguez in left field and keep Judge in center
Probably
and
move
Juan
Dominguez
Soto
to
in right
left
field.
and then Judge. Are you worried about Judge in center at all
No,
with the injury and everything?
no.
Yeah, I think that's kind of overblown.
Do you think they're like definitely gonna trade Verdugo? Like, what if they keep him?
Oh, I have him penciled in as getting traded. I think it's a guarantee.
Okay, because
Where
I
like
was.
what would you
What
do?
if he's playing well and
Right.
they don't trade him? How do you get Judge? You have Judge, you have Soto, you have Dominguez, you
Right.
have Verdugo, and you have Stanton. That's five guys. Like I would take bats away from Stanton.
Yes. Well,
If
that's what I'm
Verdugo,
saying. Like that's why he's going.
yeah,
Like if Dominguez's rehab goes exactly as it's supposed to, and if he does come back, there's no way there's a future. Like who's he's the most expendable one is Verdugo.
right? Because they won't. They have to give Stanton at bats if he's healthy, even though like
Yeah, because he's
he
making the
sucks,
money.
right? They won't cut him, obviously. So
No,
just
Stanton's
throw him
getting
out
at
there.
bats. Stanton's getting at bats. Soto is obviously getting at bats. Judge is obviously getting at bats if he's healthy. It's just going to come down to do they want like, how long are they going to milk Dominguez? And as soon as he does come back, I think it's yeah, I think it's like 95% that
Gone.
Verdugo is going because they didn't give up shit for him, so it's not like they're going to lose anything there. They gave up three, low tier pitchers, so I think Verdugo's out.
Yeah.
Um, I want to go to the starting rotation. Well, first off, your overall thoughts on the lineup. Do you think the lineup's going to hit? I think the lineup will be just fine, as at least as far as the regular season goes. I think they could be a let's say top seven offense. I think in modern MLB, all you need is two elite guys, and then just a guys who around that who can contribute.
Yeah.
And I think the Yankees have enough to do that. They have
Yeah.
lefty righty balance. They've got some new faces in there, so I think the lineup's gonna hit at the end of the day.
I agree. I think again, if the two big guys stay healthy and everybody else just kind of plays to what they should do, their offense will be pretty good. Like we had stretches last year where the offense were just terrible, like
Yeah,
literally full, where I was betting for them to not score
yeah.
over like 3 runs. I think if everyone stays healthy, that won't happen this year. Um, so yeah, they should have a good offense this year, especially Judge and Soto in the middle of the lineup. Like it'd be hard to have like a bad offense with that
Right.
setup.
I agree. Um, Rotation wise, this is where I put a ceiling on this team because I like outside of Garrett Cole, Garrett Cole is going to give you sub three, 200 innings. I don't know what the fuck to expect from anybody else. I will say my like breakout pick on the Yankees. I have Marcus, and maybe we'll talk about this more when we get to our over unders. I have Marcus Stroman pitching to a 3.38 ERA. I think he's going to be very good in pinstripes.
Wow.
Um, Rodon is my X factor. I don't know what the fuck to expect from him. I think he needs to work on getting a third pitch. He needs to add a third pitch. The guy threw fucking fastball slider last year. You're not going to be able to last doing that. You need a third pitch. So I'm very concerned about Rodon. Um, and then Nestor Cortez, how's the shoulder going to hold up? Is he just a 5 and 5 guy now? The third time through the order gave him problems last year. I don't know if the league figured him out. The rotation scares the shit out of me. And then you got Clark Schmidt, he might take a step forward, but I think maybe he'll have a similar season to last year minus April. He'll be a little better. But yeah, overall, I'm very concerned about the rotation. I want to know your thoughts on it.
I think it basically doesn't happen, but if Cole went down, oh
Oh
man,
God,
I think the rotation could be a disaster.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
I don't think it's gonna happen because Cole's literally never been injured. Um, and he's always excellent. I think you can just pencil him in for a really good year. But after that, like you said, Rodon, I think he could either be like an all-star or I think he could just suck. Like I think I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if he won like 15 games. He had like a 3 ERA.
Yeah.
And he had like 200 like over 200 strikeouts, whatever, and was really good. Or the opposite, if he had like a
Yeah.
4.5 ERA, was just walking everybody, that wouldn't surprise me either. Stroman, he's been good like everywhere he's been in the MLB.
Yeah.
So like I think you can pencil him in for a good year. Um,
Are you worried about like the not like all the bullshit with him, like the drama?
I'm not. No, I'm
No.
not worried about it. I think he might like have an instance or two throughout the season where he
Yeah.
like ticks off some fans, like all the Cup fans.
Yeah.
But I don't care about that.
No.
I don't think he's gonna say anything like Greg Bird. Like, I don't think he's gonna say anything
Oh
like.
shit. You talk about the fucking 5,000 at bats comment?
I don't think he's gonna say anything like that bad. Like he might piss off some people with a comment, but it's not gonna be that bad.
No.
And I think his play is gonna actually justify it.
Yeah. Um, I agree. I think it's gonna come down to Rodon.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just he's the guy's got even more pressure on him now, man. Like I don't know. He couldn't do it last year. Now he's got
Yeah.
even more. Jesus Christ, they're gonna have to rely on this bullpen a ton.
If he's bad
Um,
early, he's gonna feel the pressure because he's gonna get booed.
oh, he's yeah. Of
If
course.
he
His
comes
last
out,
start last year, he didn't record a single out.
yeah,
They're waiting on that.
yeah,
So
he's gonna feel pressure for sure to be better this year. And if he has a slow start, like it's could just be like all
I
down.
I don't see it going well. I really don't. Um,
Yeah,
I'm good with the bullpen. I think the bullpen always figures its way out. I think Matt Blake does a good job with them. I think Cashman does a nice job of finding randoms and turning them into quality arms. So, real
yeah.
quick, your thoughts on the pen?
Bullpens the last like half decade has always
Yeah,
been good. You know, like you said, Cashman just picks up random guys and they're good.
yeah,
And some guys that just come up are good, like
yeah,
Marinaccio. He's just some random guy that comes up and contributes. Um, Random trade Clay Holmes, like he
yeah.
has his ups and downs, but
He's
he's like
fun.
solid. So yeah, I don't think the bullpen will be like a major issue this year.
All right. Um, all right. So we are going to get to the over unders. Um, I think the thing's about to run out, so I'm gonna have to like end the recording and then start it up again. So let me do that. All right. It's a pain in the ass. Um, all right. Let's get to these bets. Figure we will read yours, and then if we need to do a couple more, I have a couple.
Okay.
So you have Stroman ERA at 380.
Yeah,
I'm going under. Are you going over or under?
I'm writing these down. I'll write them down and I'll take a screenshot and send them to you after. All
Okay.
right, so you're
I'm
going
going under.
under on Stroman 380 ERA.
Under.
I was gonna go over that.
Okay.
Rob under, me over. All right. Next one.
Soto and Judge 79 and a half over under. I will do, let's see, Judge 48. Soto's going to hit 36. What's 48 plus 36?
That's over 80. 48 plus 36 is 84.
Okay, so I'm going over.
Hmm.
Are you going over?
This is tough for me. This is so tough.
Because you have to, like, he could get
I feel
hurt.
like they could both hit 40. Like I feel like that's even though Soto's career high is 35.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he. What if we raise the number? Like, what if we?
I did one and I had 85 and a half.
Yeah, I was just.
That's what mine was.
You still take the over?
85 and a half. I'm gonna go under that. I'm going
That's a
under.
fucking huge number. All right. What if we did 82 and a half?
82 and a half.
Yeah.
Uh,
Will you go over?
yeah, I'll go over that.
82 and a half. That's a huge number, bro.
Yeah, I'll go over that.
Oh man. All right. 82 and a half. I'll go under.
Okay.
82 and a half. Rob over me under.
You went under?
Yep, 82 and a half. You went over. I'm going under that.
Yeah. You have Juan Soto games played at 155.
Yeah,
So do you mean 154 and a half? That would be?
sure.
All right, so at least 150. I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. He's gonna get cucked, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Bro, I think Boone's gonna sit him
Oh,
like really early.
I
Like
have I
in the
have a bet
first
with one of my friends.
series, he's gonna be sitting a game within the
He's
first like
sitting
10
in
games.
one of the Houston games.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to lower that?
Mm. What if we put it at 150? One 149 and a half?
All right. I will take the over.
I think he's gonna play over that too.
Okay.
All right, let's come back to this one.
Let's skip that one.
Yeah.
You have Anthony Volpe hitting 240 or better. I will say I have it right here in my notes. I have a prediction on him, so I want to check.
I'm
You
going
said
over.
Anthony Volpe 240. I said he's gonna hit 248, so I'm going over.
All right, so we're both going over.
Yeah.
You want to reset the line?
Let's come back. Let's do another one.
All right.
You've got Juan Soto OBP at 410 or higher. I'll go under. I'll go slightly under.
All right. Rob under.
Yeah.
I'm going over that.
You took over?
Yeah, I'm taking the over on that.
Okay.
I think he had one year where his on base was like 490.
Yeah. No, yeah,
That's
he was
ridiculous, bro.
yeah, that's fucking
That shit's retarded.
that's like Barry Bonds shit.
I think if he hits second and Judge hits third,
He hits second.
I think if
Judge-
he hits second, I think he actually might get more pitches to hit, which means I
Yeah.
think he's actually going to be swinging more and walking less. So it might actually be lower, but who the hell? I don't know. He could
All right.
also just like offset it and just hit like 320 this year.
Yeah. You have Giancarlo 28 and a half home runs. I will take the under.
Wow. I'm going over on that.
Okay. Big Stanton fan.
No, I'm not. That's like the bare minimum that he should be producing.
Yeah.
Like he can hit 29 home runs in like 100 games.
I used to love Stanton, man, until just like I loved it because he hit in the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
But like there comes a point where you got to just stay on the fucking field. And it's like
Never.
you can only milk that for so long.
Yeah.
You have Garrett Cole ERA 3.25. I'm going under.
This is a tough one for me. What did he finish at last year? Like 280?
260 or something.
260. If I put it at what if I move it to like 310? Would you still say under?
Yeah, I think he's had pitched to a sub 3.
All right, I'm gonna say 310 and you're going under. I'll go
Yeah.
over.
Okay.
I think he's due for some home run regression.
Okay. You have the Yankees wins at 92.5. I'm taking the under.
Wow. All right. Rob, under. I'm gonna go over.
You're fucking optimist all of a sudden. All right. I don't see it, man. God bless.
I think the offense is just gonna be better. I think they're just gonna
Look at the
have,
fucking division they're playing in, dude. It's
yeah.
fucking okay. Um,
The division's tough, but they lost a lot of games to just like shitty teams last year that I think are
yeah.
just gonna progress
I
over.
I think they'll win 90.
Yeah. I think they'll
Um,
be right in that range, 90,
yeah.
95. It just kind of depends.
I think they're gonna be third place team. I do. I think they'll slide into the wild card.
Or and who's getting second place?
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
Um, so I have a couple. See what you didn't do. I have Stanton and Rizzo combining for 54.5.
Stanton, Rizzo, 54.5 home runs.
Yes. What do you have on that?
That's 28 each,
I'm
basically.
taking the under on that.
Mm, that's 28 each. If both guys play, they should go over this number.
That's the fucking swing factor.
If yeah, Stan's a huge risk to just miss half the year. Um, I took Stan's over on the other one, so I feel like if he goes over that, then this number should go over. Like if Stanton hits 30 home runs,
Okay.
Rizzo
Yeah.
should hit like 28 or whatever. So I'll go
All
over.
right. Okay.
All right, Rob over me. No, Rob under
I'm going under.
me over. All right. So I have two of these with basically if Stanton gets hurt, I'm just fucked.
Okay. I have three more.
Okay.
Carlos Rodon with a sub 4 over or under. I'm going over.
Rob over. Yeah, I would say over two.
What if I said 4.5?
4.5 is literally terrible.
Yeah.
4.5, I would say under. That is literally so bad.
You going under?
4.5.
Okay. I'll take the fucking over on that.
4.5 is like
Dom, he's a fucking two-pitch pitcher.
that's like J Happ.
He's a two-pitch pitcher.
All right. He's also on a $160 million contract.
Yeah.
So
And so is fucking a lot of guys.
the guys, that's true. That suck.
Um, Austin
Yeah,
Wells, 18 and a half home runs
18 and a half.
for Austin Wells. I'm going over.
I'll take the under on that. It's a lot.
Okay. I think I'll hit.
Rob over me under. I didn't number these. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We still have the two that we didn't finish yet, though.
Okay. And then my last one here, it's a yes or no. Will we see Spencer Jones get an at bat?
No.
I'm gonna say yes. I think
Rob,
September maybe.
I don't think so. I don't even know what position. Isn't he an outfielder?
Yeah.
How the hell is he getting
Well,
at
he
bat?
played first base at Vanderbilt, so if Rizzo flops,
LeMahieu's washed, then yeah, maybe.
all right. What were the two that we didn't get?
We have Soto games played, 149 and a half.
Okay. Did I say over? You said
I think we were both going
You-
over that.
all right, so let's set 145. 144 and a half.
144 and a half. We're still going to go over.
Okay.
You need to set it higher, like
Yeah,
150.
yeah, yeah. What was it? 152?
152 and a half. Is he going over or under?
Under.
Oh, this is so tough.
Under.
152 and a half.
That's a
All
good
right, I'll
line.
take 152 and a half. You're going under.
Yeah.
I'll go over. He literally plays he played every single game last year. But we are dealing with Aaron Boone.
Yes.
All right. The next one was Volpe average. Our line was at 240.
Oh,
I
okay.
think people said over though.
I'm going over. Yeah.
All right. What if I put it at 250?
Under.
You're going under 250.
Yes.
What if I go 245?
Over.
All right. 248.
I have him hitting 248 in my projections that I did
All right.
part
So let's
one
put
of
it
this
at
episode.
250. 250, you're going to go under.
Yes.
Oh, 250. That's just like an average hitter. Um,
Average doesn't matter.
he do that though. I don't know if he can do that.
Do
I feel
another,
like he's
take another stat. How about like 40 combined stolen bases, home runs or something? Or 45 and a half or some shit.
home runs, stolen bases. I
Yeah,
would
let's
put
do
that
like,
at like 45 and a half.
yeah.
Volpe. All right, let me write this. Home runs plus stolen bases. 45.5. I would go over on that.
Okay, I'll take the under.
All right. Rob under
How many
me.
does that give us?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Want to do 15?
Sure.
All right.
Hell not.
How about Clark Schmidt, 11 and a half wins.
It's tough.
Under.
I need to see what he had last year. Clark Schmidt. I'm Googling this really quickly. He was 9-9 last year.
It's a good line then.
What did you say?
11 and a half.
11 and a half. How many starts was that? That was 32 starts. That's basically every single, you're not missing any starts. He only went 9-9. That's because he like five and fly kind of a guy. I think I would go under.
I would too. All right, let me think of another. How about 8.5?
8. I would go over 8.5. That seems so low.
Okay, yeah, I would too. Let's go to a different guy. Um, does Nestor Cortez have a sub 4?
OERA. No, I'd say he'd go over 4.
I was gonna say over. Okay. Um, how about 4.20 over under?
Cortez ERA 4.2.
Yeah, 420.
Bro, and if you go over that, like you're bad. Like you're not like you're pretty bad.
I
Like
guess.
Clark's last year was 4.6, I just saw. Like that's bad.
Yeah.
But that's a tough number. I feel like he could easily go over that though.
Yeah.
If he does meatballs, he does 90 miles an hour. He can just be prone to giving up bombs. Mm,
I'll take the under on that.
you'll take the under on 4.20.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, under. I'll go over on that.
How
Over.
many more do we have left? 2?
We're at 13.
Okay, so we have 2 more. Um, okay. Let's do OPS. Who's a guy who I can take? OPS. How about Austin Wells? 750 or higher.
On base plus slug. Wells, OPS. 750. On base is gonna be like
He's a catcher.
yeah. Mm,
I'm
I
going
think
over for the matter.
I'd probably take under.
All right. Okay.
All right, one more.
One more. Let's see. Hmm.
Anything with Torres?
Okay, let's do Torres. Labor
Or
Torres.
we could do something with Dominguez.
You could, but it's kind of hard to do any counting
Yeah.
stats with him.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's do Torres. Do you want to look up? I think it was 800. What his OPS was last season?
Labor Torres stats. His OPS, you said?
Yeah, I think it was 800. I just want to make sure.
All right, let's see. 2023 OPS 800 exactly.
Okay, so do you want to do like 810?
Sure.
I'll take over on that.
Torres OPS 810. Rob over. I'll go under.
All right. And that's it.
All right.
That's 15.
Yeah. Let me just count these again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep.
Okay, good. $2. I think we did last year.
Sure.
All right. It's a good bet.
Yeah.
We will come back to this. All right, that's it. Let me end the recording.
Let me get this.
Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed that. This was episode 628. I know I said that we have a couple of guests on this show. We're going to split them apart into different episodes. So this will be part 1 of the Yankees 2024 season preview with Dom. Part 2 will most likely be out this week. Next week, I should say. It's as I'm recording Sunday, February 18th. So this upcoming week, we'll have part 2 with another guest. And then if I can get a hold, if I can reach out to this, I already reached out to him, but a third guest potentially joining us for another episode. But most likely we're getting another episode out very soon with the second guest that'll be coming up again this week. So look forward to that. But as for this episode 628 with Dom Randazzo, hope you guys enjoyed it. Just, pretty much went over the offseason, talked about what we think is to come this upcoming season. Baseball's here. They have begun camp, and the regular season will be here before we know it. Actually, spring training games start in a little less than a week. I think the 22nd. 24th, something like that. So that's going to be fun, right? We always do the same thing during spring training. We're very into it. We're very excited for a couple of innings, and then it wears off, and you're like, all right, I'm ready for the real thing. But I'm thrilled, man. I'm very excited to watch this Yankees team. Baseball season's upon us, and weather's getting nicer, and so I'm excited. But of course, we've got our opinions, And I don't know if I'm, excited for the fall, but I'm excited for the summer. It should be a fun one, spring and summer. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode 628. With that said, I will see you in 629 when, again, that will most likely be an episode with another guest joining us for part 2 of this 2024 season preview. So look forward to that. All right. Thank you, and I'll see you then. This episode was brought to you by Anchor.
Hey there! If you stayed the entire way through, we thank you immensely for it. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and that you come back for the next episode real soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, download these episodes, and share them with your friends as well. BD4 is a 5-star podcast simply because of you, and we'd like to keep it that way. Have a wonderful day. Go Yankees, and go Knicks!